Thanks for having me here today. I want to talk a little bit about our model at Tri-North, which is, I think, relatively unique from what I have heard from professionals like Erin. Let me start by sharing a little bit about, I went the wrong way, about Tri-North. We're a national general contractor. We were established here in Madison in 1981. Since then, we've grown to have 5 offices around the country. We've worked in all 50 states and in all provinces of Canada. Our total number of employees will fluctuate a bit because obviously we're a contractor, and so if we're not doing a ton of work out in the field, our number of employees goes down. But it generally averages about 250. Here in the Dane County region, if you include our superintendents and our office staff, we generally have around 75 employees. And Madison is where we have our daycare. So that's really the employees that we're talking about and the employees that we serve. We are consistently ranked as one of Madison's best places to work, which is largely because of our daycare, I think. And we like to think that's also because we place a strong emphasis on team and on community. So 20 years ago, we opened Little Builders Daycare. So it was established in 1997. It is located right in our corporate headquarters. It's open to all employees and all field staff. So when we aren't full with employee children, that's when we open it up to outside folks, generally people who have a tie to Tri-North in some way. We have 4 state-certified teachers on staff, and we have a 16-student capacity. We take children ages 6 weeks to 6 years. It's a bit of a cooperative in that our parents participate in purchasing groceries for the classroom, but other than that, it functions just as any other child care center does. The biggest difference, though, is because we open this daycare to be a benefit to our employees, it does not operate as a profit center for us. Instead, we essentially subsidize the cost of child care for our employees. Currently, our employees pay $135 per week for toddlers and $150 per week for infants. You can see up on there what the average is for what we've found here in Madison. Non-employees folks pay about $15 per week higher than what our employees do. So on average, our employees are saving $220 per week for infant care and about $177 a week for toddler care. If you assume that the average employee child will leave our center around age 5, that we're estimating we're saving our employees about $41,000 during their time at our center. So obviously, what's not being said here is that our daycare loses money for us every year. It is not something that we make profits on. So the question then is, why do we do it? And that is, the answer is always our employees. Oh, see, I always run behind on my PowerPoints. We do it for our employees because the benefits that we and our employees receive far outweigh the costs that we experience every year. For an example, we have a number of employees over the years that would not have been able to keep working for us if it weren't for the cost of our child care. It was just that the cost of general child care for them was too much for them to be a 2-working parent family. And so we were lucky enough, because we have this benefit, to keep really great employees. And in all fairness, to Mark's point, it's a really great recruitment tool for us as well. We find really talented people, especially in this market. It's wonderful for us to be able to find those folks and keep them with us. We've also found that on-site childcare reduces the need for time off due to illness or other matters. So for example, you get a call that your kid has a tummy ache or got injured somehow. For a lot of people, if they're able to do this they're going to leave their job, maybe take a half day off or a full day off to go and check up on their kid. For us, we can run down the hall and we can go check in on them, and we can see if it's just something where they need a little bit of extra comfort or if they really do need to go home or go to the doctor. And that's pretty crucial for a lot of us. I know I myself have received many calls that whatever child was crying or needed something, and it was great to be able to go down the hall and just be with them for a couple minutes. Even outside the benefit of having the kids right down the hall, there's peace of mind as well. When the infant son of one of our employees had an allergic reaction, she was, again, just down the hall. So in her own words, that was priceless to her because she could just go down there and she could deal with it at that exact moment, rather than having to do a maybe 20-minute car drive freaking out about what's going on. We've also found that having on-site daycare provides a mental boost for many parents, especially our new parents, because that helps foster our team atmosphere. We all know that it's not easy being a working parent and leaving your child in a child care center, and then the limited time that you have when you come home. So a lot of our employees will come and grab their kids during lunch, and they get to have an extra hour with them during the day. And to a lot of them, that's huge. It's a great amount of bonding time that they get. And the same is for our breastfeeding parents, because we obviously provide pumping space for them if they want to pump, but they also have the option to go and grab their child from the daycare and take them to a comfortable space and just breastfeed. And we have had some employees that have had preemies, and for them that was really crucial to be able to continue to form that bond with their child and provide that nutrition rather than having to just go pump. And to be honest, even if you aren't a new parent or even one of the parents in our daycare, there's a huge mood benefit that just comes from hearing these kids run around all the time. They come trick-or-treating at Halloween. On cold days, they're running around upstairs, and it makes even the most stressful day really a lot more fun. Sorry, I gotta flip my page. And finally, perhaps most near and dear to my heart, because of how we're structured and because of our daycare is a benefit to our employees, we're able to step in and provide childcare where a lot of centers might not be able to. So when we had an employee whose son was born with severe cerebral palsy, we were able to add a teacher who was dedicated solely to his son, and he was able to continue working with the peace of mind that his child was being taken care of. And that's priceless for us, and it's not about, for us, the profits or anything else. It's about helping a person who needed help at a time in their life. As with everything, though, it is not all perfect all the time. Oops, see? I'm really terrible at PowerPoint, I'm sorry. It's not all perfect all the time. In order to take this step as an employer, you either, like us, have to be committed to providing this as a benefit, understanding that you're not going to make a profit at it, or you have to find a model that allows you to make a profit and understand that the benefit is convenience then for your employees rather than maybe the cost. So that's, it's a leap that we decided to take, and we've been happy with it, but it's not for everybody. And if you choose to operate it as a benefit to employees like we do, you also need to be mindful of reminding your employees that it's a benefit. Because it's so much a part of who we are, we tend to forget to do that. And then I get really surprised when I have employees who don't appreciate it or don't even understand really the value that they're receiving. And so we have to be really mindful of that. Another thing that we've learned over the years is we have to have what I like to call planned spontaneity. Our daycare teachers are our employees. So if we're going to choose to close our office at 3 o'clock the day before a holiday, we have to actually plan that out in advance, because our teachers need to make arrangements with the parents who are not Tri-North employees so that they can pick their children up, or they need to make arrangements to have someone stay behind with the children who can't leave early. So we can't just call it at 2 o'clock whenever we feel like it. We have to actually think about it in advance. So employer-supported childcare, it's not easy, as we're all talking about here. It's a huge leap for a lot of companies to make. But from our perspective, even though it's not something that generates profits for us, there's never been a day when we have regretted doing it. Our employees are happier as a result of having that daycare there. We are a more cohesive team, and I think it's evident to anyone who comes into our building that we are a family-friendly workplace, and we do try very hard to promote that work-life balance for our employees. Now, I do have to add, I kind of spoiled it a little bit, but one shameless plug, Erin mentioned Kids Building Wisconsin. We are also very focused on the gap that we see in the workforce, and in particular in the construction industry. We have a very aging trade population and not a lot of young people coming into the trades. So 5 years ago, we founded a nonprofit, and the event that we put on is called Kids Building Wisconsin. It takes place at McKee Farms Park every year, which is in Fitchburg. This year it will be on May 12th. It is a free event for kids ages 3 to 13. We have seen many littler ones, but it is largely for 3 to 13. There are over 35 interactive exhibits for the kids to come and take part in. Things like making a cement handprint, or Amanda, help me out.
Build a brick wall.
Build a brick wall. Yep, it is really, really fantastic. There's tons of huge equipment. It's a really fantastic day. We've brought some flyers if anyone is interested, but it is May 12th, McKee Farms Park, and really fun. Thank you very much.